We are once again out here on Yukon Valley today, and much like our last hunt, we're starting off in this area down in the southeast, and this time, there is no level 3 harlequin duck to begin our hunt. There are a bunch of ducks here, but not going to be shooting a diamond right off the bat. Now there is a grizzly bear over there as well, but I think we'll probably try to take one of the better males. Any of those with a 6 estimate will work, and once we do that, we're gonna try to make it quick. I don't know how that is missing. I'm not exactly sure what the issue there was. I think we'll be able to get it if we just keep on kind of firing in that area. We got one of them anyway. And basically, this particular multiplayer server has a little bit of time remaining for grizzly bear drink time. So that wasn't exactly ideal, but I wanted to hurry up, kind of get something, and get on the move and try to check as many areas as possible. I still think, of all the possible things we could find on Yukon Valley, an albino gold grizzly bear is just about as high on the list as I can think of. We've been so close once before, and it's something I would love to get for that multi-mount. One potential little bonus of missing the duck to begin with is that I had to float back a bit. It actually was not bad at 6.9 and 0.7 kg, but rather than shooting it on this side of the shallow area and having it float all the way back, it just kind of floated a bit, and we can continue on our way. That's a pretty solid caribou, so we'll probably at least try to take that, but we are approaching 7 o'clock, and basically all we're seeing are female grizzlies. They're all over the place, and I know this is something I mentioned in a recent video, but at the time of the Aurora update, something happened where a lot of species have areas where only females spawn and areas where only males spawn, and I definitely don't know all of the locations that kind of happens for grizzly bear, but it does seem as though down here in the south and also over in this area, down to this little finger of this lake, they all seem to be just female bears. And again, when you shoot a fair number of those bears, it starts to kind of mix as the respawns happen, but I don't see a lot of grizzly bear drink zones around here, so I'm guessing this particular map hasn't really been hunted for them, and it would appear as though we're gonna kind of keep on seeing females, so we might try to get to somewhere else. It is currently 7:04 though, so I'm not sure if we'll get there before bears will leave, and maybe we can catch one kind of on its way out. As I often say, it only takes one. We don't need to find a bunch of male grizzlies, we just need one to be albino and we are all set, but that's actually not half bad. 326 scoring male caribou, and we'll try to get to somewhere else. I really don't know where the best spot to check is, but I feel like down in here tends to have some males, so we'll give it a shot. Seems we got here a little bit too late. That is a max weight grizzly track, but he is well on his way out of his drink zone, so we'll try to find him. Obviously not an albino based on the track there from the map, but definitely one we want to go and find, even if their drink time is over. That's a little disappointing at the end of a rather long track, but at least we found him. At least we know he is a 7. And if we'll slow down for just a moment, we'll try to get a shot in there. We do have the 22 if we need to alert him that way. We've got so much space there. We should be good. Finally got an opportunity with the 338. Looks like that's going to be enough to bring him down. I was really hoping for more as we were running along tracking him for that big of a distance. I am curious to see what the track distance ends up being, but at least we found him. So after all that, a 1.5 kilometer track distance for a 64 scoring gold grizzly. At least we got him down and got the gold out of him, but that pretty much actually has us to the end of caribou drink time, which quite honestly is fine. I would love to get another diamond caribou in the lodge. I think we have 2, but one of them is from that time period where they were making diamond at 401, and it's a really cool rack, but it's definitely not one that would be a diamond now. But as I mentioned in the Medved video 2 days ago, I really still want one more diamond moose. Yukon might be the last map that we killed a diamond moose on, and we are just about to enter drink time for them, so I am more than okay to head out and start to look for them. Looks like our first moose of the moose portion of this hunt might be a mismatched set of antlers that I've never seen before. I'm not so sure I like that one. I'm thinking back to the rare moose that we've shot, and maybe we've been lucky. I've definitely seen some larger rare moose post in the community that are uneven, Because we see that so often with a lot of antlered species. Red deer are the biggest example, very much an uneven rack. But yeah, thinking back to the rare moose that we've shot, the only one that is uneven is the mission animal, the mocha moose. The albino, piebald, and melanistic that we have in our lodge are all even racks, which I'm quite pleased about, but if we were to find a big one, I would just hope that trend continues. That's looking a little bit better. Not quite into the max weight estimate range, but I'm guessing he's going to be in that 540 kg area. He's definitely not half bad. Hopefully that shot is going to drop into a lung. I think it should. He is starting to go down, and actually, I did not see them back in there, but there were some other moose, so good chance I would say by the time we get back, they will have started to return to their zone, so we can make sure that there was nothing, any kind of decent in there. He made it quite a bit farther than I would have expected. 211 gold, and yeah, he is just under that 545 kg mark, but right along at 350 meters. And all I saw for moose and tracks over in that area were cows, so that is two of my favorite spots off the list with nothing really to speak of. Well, it may not quite be a diamond. 208 to 262 would confirm that, but it is by far the best moose we've seen. And I quite like that rack, so we'll take that with the next shot. Go and take a look and see, and maybe that's a good sign. We're into kind of the swampy area up in here, which we've had quite a lot of success with moose and of course bison in the past. Definitely something else to keep an eye on is going to be the herds of bison as they are walking by. Anything that could be, you know, rares or diamonds would be quite nice. I think, generally speaking, at least as far as diamond bison go, we're pretty good for our trophy lodge, but I'd always accept another rare or two, although like moose, we actually do have a gold of all of the rare varieties. But as for our biggest moose thus far, I'm gonna guess he's got to be in the area of 250. 259, in fact. Got him right at the top of the lower neck there. That actually was about as high as that shot could have been. Much higher at all when it's into the vertebrae and a whole lot of nothing, but some brow tines and that guy might have made it. Definitely not half bad. Well, we did find the tracks of an albino grizzly bear today, but it is just a female. Now, their drink zone is ending, and I know we've already spooked this one out. This is the only bear that I've seen since then, so I guess they're not going to come back. We'll probably have to go and track it down, but that's still pretty cool regardless, male or female. It would be nice to end up getting one a little bit bigger, but no complaints actually seeing that track. It's been quite some time. Well, that'll work. Just out there in the wide open, not difficult to see that in the slightest. Level 1 female, not exactly anything spectacular, but pretty cool to see, like I said. Been quite some time. In fact, I think the last female albino we shot may have been right after they initially kind of came out, so I don't remember if the issue was they weren't spawning or if they just didn't have albino grizzlies when Yukon released, but originally it was only melanistics. There were no albino bears, so we ended up getting a couple of females, and since then I think it's been a level 4 and a level 6 male, so still cool to encounter that once again. I think at about 150 here we'll try to take that shot. If it does go to calm, it's going to just walk away. So while it is drinking, gonna try to center that shot right in the neck. That's one of those things, and I've talked about it a fair bit before. In fact, when we next shot our Great One Red Deer with a bow, I mentioned it. Basically, trying to align that neck shot with the vitals. When you've got something like the 338 or a bow or any of those really powerful weapons, if you miss the neck, you still could reach in and get a lung. Say you missed left or right of the neck bones. So we sort of had the height there to where it could reach into a lung. And we'll see if we maybe got a lung anyway, despite definitely getting the neck. But the important thing is, that is an albino grizzly bear down. That's a little bit of motivation. Almost mentioning the Great One again, almost like the grind's just like getting a diamond or a rare on that grind. It can help to continue to go for one. So I'm gonna say grizzlies are probably a little too tough to reach a vital if we were to miss the neck. So good thing we got it. 50.7 bronze. To be expected for a female bear, and like I said, pretty cool little motivation. Huge pink claws on that thing. So maybe we'll be back here sooner rather than later. It's always tough. You know, generally speaking, grizzly bears, they've got that brief drink window in the morning. They rest and feed in such dense areas, you generally don't see a lot of them outside of their drink time, and it can be difficult to kind of go back time after time, but it only takes one kind of chance encounter like that to, at least for me, make me want to go back. Speaking of chance encounters, how about a minimum level male grizzly? That actually, between a level 1 albino female and a level 3 albino male, I'll take the female. That would have been a little unfortunate. I wanted to get him. Could have been like a Hall of Shame sort of thing, but I'd like to actually take a decent shot, so if we can kind of get something lined up, we'll go for it. I'm not going to worry about it too much, though. I feel like this kind of always happens, where we get focused on one or two species and really only use a bit of our loadout, and if not for the one caribou, I think the only weapons we would have fired today would have been the 338 and the 22, but we did, of course, shoot the caribou with the 30-06, and with that red fox there, we can take that with the 223 AR, and maybe we can get the female as well, just since it's kind of running by. And we can take that for a little bonus kill, and I'm glad at least we did get to fire all of our weapons. Not that this is a specifically unique loadout like sometimes we do, but it's always, you know, looking back on it, I was going through the latest harvest to see what all we had shot today, and just about everything was 338, mostly moose and grizzly bear, but I guess that is not too bad when one of the grizzly bear was actually a rare. We'll have to take that back to the second lodge and take a look at that, but always nice as well to see a gold red fox, 11.2 level 7. One day maybe we'll get another diamond. I'd love to, and this is so unlikely it's probably never going to happen, but if we could get like another super rare, we have the piebald diamond gray fox, some kind of super rare red fox would be amazing for that multi-mount, but I mean, we struggled to get a diamond red fox, so that seems like something that is not all that likely, but even a bigger diamond red fox or something like that would be neat to put into that mount. But let's go back and throw our grizzly bear in the lodge. Not too bad though. I'm pretty sure at one point we had a melanistic Merriam's turkey hen here, although it wasn't there when we came into the lodge, so I don't know what I did with that, but either way, I would say this is an upgrade, and I'm sure we do have other albino females somewhere. I mean, maybe they're like in the lower level of the lodge, but if they are, I'm not even sure where it is. But I still think with that one up there, it's a nice kind of centerpiece to that upper level. And like I said, that's a pretty big motivating factor for me. We might be spending some serious time on Yukon in the upcoming weeks. As I've been saying for probably a week or so now, we've kind of reached that point where, you know, we got our great one red deer. There's not any specific diamonds we're really after. And up until a new map comes out probably this summer, there's not a whole lot to really worry about, so maybe going after an albino gold grizzly, or even a melanistic gold grizzly, I would just kind of prefer the albino. That could be something to put some of our efforts into, probably both in single player and multiplayer. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.